I expected it to be pretty brutal. People are going to have very strong opinions.
Oh my God, you guys, you'll never believe it. Ben from 90 Fiance just got arrested, and I honestly cannot believe the reason.
My opinion is just like, it wasn't, to me, deceptive at all.
And on top of that, I actually have a crazy spoiler alert that we just uncovered about him and Mahogany, but I'll get into more on that in just a second.
Like I said, I look at everything on the positive side, and probably too much so.
First, let's go back to the arrest. So here is the deal. He was arrested in Michigan early on Tuesday morning for operating a vehicle while under the influence and for driving with a suspended license. And thanks to TMZ, we actually have his mugshot. I mean, look at that, you guys. So we don't know the exact details surrounding his arrest just yet, but we do know that his bond is set at $10,000, and I personally just want to know what the heck happened. And also, why the heck was his license suspended in the first place? So is this not his first arrest? So anyway, guys, that is the arrest. Now on to the spoiler that we have with Ben and Mahogany, and that is that they are supposedly still together.
If there is a major thing that I think is, something we can't get past, then that's one thing. But if someone's just trying to, have me show up and this is where they're living for a couple months, I wasn't asking a whole lot of questions.
But now I'm starting to kind of wonder if something had changed with their relationship, which is what led to Ben's arrest, but that's a complete speculation at this point. So as far as we know, they are actually still together. A fan spotted them recently. They were at a mall in Peru, and at first this fan only saw Ben and thought he was there alone, but later on they actually saw him with Mahogany. And you guys, get this, apparently they were holding hands. So I find this super interesting for a couple of reasons. First of all, let's be honest, I thought it before thanks to all the evidence leaning in that direction, but after their meeting in the restaurant, I think we all kind of thought that Mahogany was probably a paid actress that the production hired just to create more drama. And she was just so awkward, and a lot of people pointed out that her accent was better than they thought it would be, and that she didn't sound Peruvian at all. But this one fan spotted them together in Lima holding hands, and they said that now they believe that Ben and Mahogany are definitely together and that she is not an actress, which, it would make sense because why else would they be walking around together acting like a couple if there were no cameras around? And that just wouldn't make any sense, obviously. It definitely seems like not only is Mahogany not an actress, but that there might be something genuine going on between them, at least for the time being. Now, some people actually came up with a different theory, and if it is true, you guys, it is so bizarre, but basically people now think that it's possible that Ben and Mahogany actually already met before the restaurant scene, and they believe that they might have been dating for a while now, which is why they were acting so weird in the restaurant, and they were just pretending that this was their first time meeting. But I kind of don't buy that. It's just a speculation. I just don't think I really believe it. I feel like being awkward is one thing, but Mahogany really didn't seem into Ben, and I don't think it would come across that way if they already had, a secret relationship. And plus, we know that they allegedly had only known each other for like a couple of months before they met, and I just cannot imagine that they were able to meet before then. Now, it's definitely possible that there was something else going on, but I just don't know if I believe that they actually have been together all this time and met before all this. But it definitely seems like Mahogany is not an actress and she is genuinely dating Ben at this point. And apparently, when the fan approached them together, Ben was a bit distant at first and told them that they, couldn't tell anyone about seeing them together, but then he offered that they could take a selfie, which is kind of weird considering the circumstances. And I've always thought that, Ben seemed like a pretty nice guy, and that seems to be true, at least from what, the one fan said. But Mahogany apparently is a completely different story. Apparently, she was super cold and unapproachable, and when the fan tried to shake her hand, she just gave him a fist bump instead. And now, I think it's entirely possible that she was just feeling a bit awkward in that situation. But Ben didn't want us to believe that she was shy, so this could definitely play into that. People sometimes come across as a bit cold, I guess, even if they are just shy in social situations, so I guess it could just be that. But then again, it could also be that Mahogany is just not that nice. I guess we'll only, find out if there are more stories from other people, but it definitely kind of seems interesting. And so what I also find really strange is that they are still together even after all the weird stuff that has come out on the show. Mahogany has been caught in so many different lies, and it's honestly just bizarre and weird, and I have no idea what she's doing or if she's actually hiding something major. First, there was this thing with her age that was just bizarre. We talked about this before, how, she told Ben that she was 24, even though she was actually 22. Well, Ben finally found out on the show, and it was so awkward to see, you guys. I mean, I almost just died of laughing. It was so funny. It was actually her mom who revealed it. Not only know about y'all, but it just kind of seemed a little bit forced and staged. Like, she just dropped her age, and then, he was like, oh, wait, you're 22. I thought you were 24. And Mahogany clearly did not know what to say, and she just said, oh my gosh, I don't know, which is super, super, super odd to me of something to say. I mean, Ben even pointed out that she must have known what she was doing since he wished her a happy 24th birthday a while ago, and she never corrected him, so her reaction seems pretty weird to me, and I really don't get what she's trying to do here. But then again, Ben's reaction seemed pretty weird to me too, and over the top. So, I mean, I'm sure now he knows that he is 30 years older, not 28, but why does that actually matter to him so much? I mean, it's a 2-year age difference at that point. If he's okay with her being, 28 years younger, you'd think he'd be okay with him, being 30 years younger. But I mean, like, now we know that he said that his daughter was 22 as well, and so he finds it kind of weird because he's dating someone that is his daughter's age, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, the kind of odd and hilarious problem is he knew that before then, and so there really isn't much of a difference between 24 and 22. It's 2 years. So, sure, his daughter, knows people who are 24 and considers them her age just about. So it's basically the exact same thing. So him overreacting like that is kind of bizarre. Yes, she lied, but the age gap isn't really much different now. I mean, you'd think that if she was trying to come across as older than she is, she'd, add a couple more years to it, not just 2 years. So I don't really get it. It really makes no sense. It's just kind of weird that she lied about all that stuff, and she was just so clumsy about it. But still, I just think that this is kind of, of on Ben. I mean, he is dating someone who is way, way, way younger than him, and the 2 years difference just to me really doesn't change all that much. He kind of just needs to get over it, at least to me. But at the same time, to Ben's defense, there were other things that Mahogany lied about. She just seems to keep getting caught in these web of lies, coming up with lots of different stories about her and her life that just truly just do not check out. So I get why Ben is maybe feeling kind of some type of way, especially since he found out all of this basically all at once. I mean, honestly, the fact that Mahogany lied about her house is the biggest hilarious situation. Then she added 2 years, to her age. So I don't know about you guys, but this would definitely freak me out. Because here is the deal. Mahogany told Ben that she lives with her parents, and then she's suddenly supposedly living alone like a month later. So that's definitely super suspicious, and I do get why Ben in that situation was feeling really uncomfortable. And if you've seen 90 Day Fiance, you'll know that, obviously Ben did ask to meet Mahogany's parents after she told him that her dad had some doubts about Ben's intentions, and to be honest, that always seems like a lie to me, like something that she just kind of made up so she would never have to meet up with Ben. But anyway, when they did all meet up, it was in this condo that Mahogany claimed was where she lived, but it was so clearly just an Airbnb. I mean, it was just ridiculous, you guys. You will not believe how clearly it was. Like, Ben definitely noticed it really quick, and he made a comment about it later in a confessional, which didn't surprise me at all. But I mean, first of all, he thought she was living with her parents not very long ago, so for her to suddenly have this place all set up and everything would definitely be weird. But then he also noticed that she really wasn't familiar at all with the place. And he claims that there were games that, he knew that she's never played, and decorations, and a surfboard that she's never touched, and everything just looked way too expensive and just seemed strange and odd. And I think he even said that he found like a tourist guide in there too. So I get what he means. I mean, the places definitely didn't seem like it was Mahogany's. It was for sure an Airbnb. But at the same time, I don't really get why he thinks he knows what her place would look like that well, but more than likely, it was probably an Airbnb. So, I mean, how exactly does he know which game she's played? He was kind of making assumptions, but once again, it was likely an Airbnb. And that definitely kind of goes to show that the whole theory of them being in a relationship before the show and whatnot is just not possible and wrong. Because, I mean, if they knew each other before, then this whole storyline of her renting out a place just to pretend it's hers would be even more bizarre than it already is. I'm not buying it. I honestly don't know, why she's doing all this and pretending this is, where she lives. It's clear she doesn't live there. Like Ben said, there aren't even any pictures of her anywhere or anything. So it just kind of makes me think, she must be hiding something from Ben. I don't really know what though. Why else would she be lying about all this stuff? So is there something else that she's been keeping from him, or is she maybe just scared of Ben? I mean, it's kind of odd, but it is possible. It is possible that if she does live with her parents, they just weren't comfortable with filming at their house. I mean, that is a very likely possibility with 90 Day Fiance going to their house. But then again, they could have probably just said, if that was the case. And that's actually something that happens a lot on TV shows. I can, vouch for. If they can't get approval to film somewhere, they'll just rent an Airbnb and pretend it's where the person lives. but they usually don't talk about it openly on the show. So that's why it's so weird to me. Like, something strange is definitely going on there with, where Mahogany is living. And the other thing too is, how much are her parents involved in this? Her mom let it slip that she's actually 22 years old, so clearly Mahogany has not been making, them lie about everything. But I just don't know, you guys. Like, I have no idea what to think about any of this. So it really would make a lot of sense if Mahogany was just an actress, and so were her parents. But after what we know about her and Ben going out in Peru, that is almost like guaranteed just not the case. They clearly are trying to make a go of this quote-unquote relationship, but then, we have to always question, why was Mahogany lying so much about everything? You could probably assume, well, hey, she's only 22 years old and she's just immature, and I honestly can't blame Ben for being so uncomfortable in that episode and wanting to go to the airport. I mean, I'd probably feel the same way, wouldn't you? So anyway, you guys, that's all on Ben and Mahogany. A lot of stuff going on. What do you guys think? Are you happy that they're still together? What do you think of Ben's arrest? I mean, do you now believe that, she's not actually an actress? But then again, why has she been lying about her age and the apartment and so much other stuff? I mean, what do you guys think is going on there? Am I the only one who kind of can't figure out why none of this is adding up? I just don't get it. But either way, guys, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you all. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please do me a huge favor, hit that like, follow, share, subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.